from Lehman Turner Arena at Grace Hall in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Welcome to Lehigh Mountain Hawks Wrestling and coverage of the 2024 Brown and White Intra-Squad as we kick off the new season with 11 Intra-Squad matches on tap here in the start of a new wrestling season for this Lehigh wrestling team. Good evening to you. Steve Lomagino here, Gary Brunel alongside. Hope, Gimp, you had a nice off-season.
Well, as when people ask me about when's wrestling over, I show them this one meme from the good fellas in the bar scene where they're laughing like, when's wrestling over? Yeah, right.
Wrestling never stops. So, but from the NCAA allotted, time to do stuff.
Right.
The time is now, and we're back. And a Lehigh team that was a close second to Cornell in the EIWAs last year. Of course, the Ivies have split away, so perhaps favorites in the EIWA this year. Tied for 15th at the NCAA championships last year, and this year they'll be right down about an hour from here at the Wells Fargo Center in Philly. So certainly a lot of excitement around this team. We got Lehigh with 4 returning conference champs, 3 returning All-American, actually 5 returning conference champs. Malik Hines won back in 2021.
Right. 21, yeah.
So 3 returning All-Americans, and a lot of excitement heading into the year, which unofficially kicks off with this event here this evening. We will have 11 bouts tonight, and not one in every weight class. We'll have some representation up and down the lineup, but I guess probably the biggest thing, none of the heavy hitters in terms of returning All-Americans will wrestle tonight. We will see Nathan Taylor at the end of the night, but a deep and talented group of newcomers for Lehigh, and we'll see most of them here this evening.
Yeah, in fact, that's what I was looking at. Kids I maybe seen some, in high school or whatever, but it'd be good to see what they actually do. And I've been at some practices, but I don't know all their stuff. But I've seen Ziggler some, Wadle, and I saw some online. Skellinger's dad posts some of his stuff, and I know he's more of a 3-styler.
Or Greco.
Yeah, all 3. Yeah.
Oh, 3-styler. I'm sorry.
3-style.
Yeah, I got you.
He's one of those. He's one of those guys that's like, which style am I wrestling now? So I know what rules to use.
And Lehigh bringing in a group of 9 newcomers, 8 true first years, and then a transfer. Rylan Rogers came over from the University of Michigan. We'll see 8 of the 9 newcomers tonight. Bekruz Sadridnov still out with a bit of an injury, so probably a deferred year for him. But still 8 pretty good, and we'll see 8 of them tonight.
One little thing that I've been looking at is, basically trivia. As far as I know, the first 2 Idaho wrestlers we've ever had, I don't remember anybody from Idaho before. And we've got, 2.5 actually, from what I understand. Bailey's family moved
to Idaho.
Oh. But Skellinger and Rogers, both Idaho. And like I say, I can't remember it. I asked John Adlin, he couldn't find anybody, and with the Boomers database. And like he said, I don't know whether it's somebody before. I forget whether he said like 1970. We don't have a lot of hometowns in the database, but still, it's not something I recall.
And that would be Jaden Skedlinger from Meridian, Rylan Rogers from Coeur d'Alene, although he did do a stint at Blair Academy before going back out to Idaho.
He won, I guess, just his freshman year, I think. I kind of remember him from there. I recognized him, and I said, wait, I think I knew this kid before. And he came over to me and talked, I guess he must have seen me somewhere at that point. But
we're going to start the night off with a couple matchups at 125 pounds. Last year, this weight, by the end of the year, was held by Luke Stanich, EIWA title, 5th place in the country for him. Luke is moving on up this year and likely moving up to 141 pounds. There was a chance we were going to see him at tonight. That was a late, scratch from the card. Was going to have to wrestle up. But to kick things off, 125 pounds, Sheldon Seymour in the brown, now 5th-year wrestler, senior eligibility out of Troy, Pennsylvania. And one of the true first years, Mason Ziggler from down the road in Quakertown in the white. We'll get things started here this evening.
And Ziggler was 7th, 2nd, and 3rd in PIAA, 3-time region champ.
Actually,
that would be out of District 1, actually, Southeast.
We will start and finish the evening with Quakertown wrestlers, as Calvin Lochman will be in our last matchup against Nathan Taylor.
Yeah.
Seymour filled in a couple times last year as Standish was going through his kind of weight management and preserving dates and preserving eligibility until the very end of the season. Ended up 12-6 a season ago. Represented Lehigh at the 2022 EIWAs. 5th year in the program, but because of all the COVID rules, Gimp has another year of eligibility after this one if he chooses to use it.
Nothing like that. What is it, the football player going for his 9th year or something?
the quarterback at the University of Utah, I believe.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Scoreless with a minute gone by. Officials tonight, Roger Gehring is the lead official, Craig Salvatore the assistant. As the action off to the right and a shot from Seymour, but Ziggler now in on a reshot and spinning back and forth as Seymour now with his feet still in the circle. Gets onto the left leg, trying to reach for the far ankle.
As far as I know, they didn't make any rules adjustments this year because this is the 2nd year of the book, I guess, right? So I forgot to bring the book tonight, but
Seymour still trying to bring in that right ankle, and now is able to secure the 2 ankles, or actually just below the knee. Out of bounds, 3 takedown awarded, and they're going to go out of bounds with 1:08 to go in the opening period.
Whereas high school picked up sort of some of the rules. They're going with the 3-point takedown this year, and the every second is score for 2, 3, 4 for near falls, and they're approaching the out of bounds rules. It's a little different. It's not the cylinder, but they pretty much if anything's in, it's in.
One escape for Ziggler now. Seymour backing on the leg on the right side and trying to pull Ziggler back in again and trying to secure that left leg. Ziggler trying to whiz her there and now back into a standing position. 35 to go in the opening period. Another trip down and 3 for Seymour. And we'll get a fresh start at center with 14 to go in the opening period. 6-1 lead for Sheldon Seymour. The Lehigh team that will open with a tournament and then the Journeyman Round Robin Collegiate Classic at Freedom. First 2 Sundays in November. Dual meet season begins here on Friday, February 15th against the newest member of the EIWA, Morgan State. As it's 6-1 Seymour after 1.
And for those that don't know, there was some rumors about that the league is splitting into divisions, so to speak, not like Ivy's splitting out into their own league, but into divisions, and it hadn't actually happened. I mean, it kind of looked, Binghamton coach actually kind of put it out as if that's what it was, but it looks like it's going to be kind of a Patriot League group and then non-Patriot League. The question is, where does Morgan State go? I mean, obviously they're not Patriot League.
It's a 12-team league now.
Whether they go 6-6 or go 7-5, that's what the issue would be. What that they were discussing at the meeting.
And I would presume for scheduling purposes more than anything.
Yeah, I don't know that we're it's huge. I mean, we're in terms of that, but they were talking about doing something like that. So I think they're going to go with the 7. I think the coaches prefer the 7 and 5 because of the league affiliation, the straight up league affiliation. Otherwise, it was going to be Patriot plus Morgan State, and then all the others. And they're
American is back on the schedule. Again, there's 5 schools that compete in the Patriot League for other sports that have wrestling: Lehigh, Army, Navy, American, and Bucknell. American had fallen off the schedule for a couple of years. They're back on this year. Again, one of the things Coach Pat Santora talked about previously, Lehigh is going to still wrestle some of the traditional Ivies. It's still going to be a Lehigh-Cornell duel just about every year. Lehigh's still going to wrestle Penn this year. It's not a complete
even though they stole one of our guys.
Darian Cruz now coaching at Penn is what Gimp's alluding to. We've got 23 seconds to go in the second period here. 6-2 lead for Seymour over Ziggler. Just an escape so far in the second period for the first-year Ziggler. And
there was a lot of coaching shuffling around, especially in the Ivies.
6-2 after 2. Seymour will take the down position.
Of course, we had a lot of coaching changes with Princeton last year.
In season, which is
pretty
unusual.
much, yeah. And then Seymour right up and out. So 7-2, 51 seconds riding time. But they now also have picked up Anthony Ashnault from Rutgers. He wasn't part of the staff, but obviously national champ. I mean, and then Donnie Pritzlaff.
Yeah.
Well, Tonelli left to go at Virginia Tech.
Pritzlaff went to Rutgers to Columbia.
Yeah, went to Columbia, bringing along with him Sebastian Rivera and Buxton. And it looks like Buxton's actually part of the staff rather than, RTC.
Good shot here from Ziggler on the left side, trying to lift here and work his way through and scrambling a bit here. Ziggler trying to pull the head out here with 57 seconds to go. Trailing 7-2.
Seymour is managing to. I mean, if the other, if he goes over a little bit more, he can get the takedown called. I mean, basically he's on one butt cheek, I guess. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but
we'll let it slide. Stalemated.
I don't know how else to describe it. That's part of the rule. I mean, it's
stalemated with 30 seconds to go. Riding time not a factor. Just 51 seconds right now for Seymour. Another shot here in the final seconds from Seymour. As time winding down, we're going to have a 7-2 decision for Sheldon Seymour. To kick things off here inside Lehman Turner Arena at Grace Hall. And now another bout coming up at 125 pounds. For the Brown team, we have true first-year Matty Lopes. First year out of Danbury, Connecticut by way of Blair Academy. And his opponent, Logan Wadle, deferred first-year wrestler out of Pittstown, New Jersey, and North Hunterdon High School.
He won at 106 his senior year, and he was runner-up.
This will be a little interesting here with Lopes, a very big and maybe surprising some people, coming down to 125 or trying to make 125, as he was a, what did he wrestle, 130 last year, or what's 132?
I think it was 132. Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And as you alluded to, Gimp, Wadle, state champ just 2 years ago, but at 106 pounds. Again, wrestling that lowest weight class as a senior in high school. So Lopes and Wadle here in our second bout of the night. Wadle wrestled 4 bouts last year, did not pick up a victory. And Lopes in on the right leg here. Able to pick up the takedown to go in front 3-0. And Wadle quickly out for his one escape.
And Lopes was a prep champ at Blair and runner-up.
Wadle wrestled at the Sheridan tournament last December and then had one other open tournament appearance.
And Lopes wasn't really an injury, but he wasn't able to wrestle in the preps last year.
It was either an illness that cost him the week before or something like that?
He couldn't, yeah, he had an issue going into the qualifier.
Yeah. They gave Lopes another takedown here, so 6-1, 6-2 with the Wadle escape. Lopes again on the head trying to reach for the far ankle and spin around behind, and he's going to pick up, well, not quite yet. Now he's got 3 more. And a 9-2 lead with 1:22 to go in the opening period for Matty Lopes. Lopes, one of 2 Blair Academy products in the incoming class. Along with Logan Rosinski, who is a late scratch as of earlier today. He's going to take on Jaden Skellinger in a matchup of true first years at 157. So instead, Griffin Gonzalez will wrestle against Skellinger. As we're under a minute to go. 9-3 now with Wadle's escape.
Lopes shrug by and then spin behind.
So 12-3 lead for Lopes with half a minute to go in the opening period. Again, you alluded to some of Lopes' high school credentials and prep credentials. And again, kind of just an obvious size advantage over Wadle, who's, been a good worker. Wadle's real claim to fame last year was he training partner extraordinaire for Luke Stanich.
Yeah.
On the way to his 5th place NCAA finish in EIWA title. Gave a lot of credit to Wadle for, just for lack of a better term, taking a lot of beatings in the room to help make him better. 12-3 after 1, and Wadle will take the down position. Wadle to his feet, trying to peel the hands, and he's out. Twelve to 4. Early second period, bout number 2 of 11 tonight. Lopes back in on a single, brings Wadle down. Wadle trying to scramble here. We got a maybe danger call, and Wadle able to work off his back for the moment.
No.
Another danger call again, and this time they're going to award the 3 out of danger.
And Wadle's it's a wrestling family. His father wrestled, I'm trying to, back in the 90s, I'm trying to think if it was actually for Del Val rather than
North Hunterdon.
And then he has a younger brother, Caden, if I remember right. His father's name is Rudy.
(15-5) after that last Wadle escape.
And I think Caden's even smaller than Logan was.
And Rudy is the dad. And there's also a brother Rudy and a brother Caden.
I think Caden is the younger one, or the one that's, I mean, I don't know. I don't know whether Rudy's older or.
Logan, state champ at 106, as we said. Two-time finalist, 109 and 17 in his prep career. 23 seconds to go in the second period here. Other highlights, talked to when the dual season opens. Obviously, the big highlight first semester, Lehigh, Penn State, going back to PPL Center in Allentown on Sunday, December 8th at 2 o'clock. 15-5 lead for Lopes as we go to the third. Lopes down to begin the third, and that was a bit of a rolling start there attempted by Wadle, so first caution. Lopes to his feet, trying to separate the hands. Wadle able to drag him down for the moment. Lopes now able to separate the hands and work his way out. Wadle did bring the riding time under a minute. So 16-5 for Lopes. Shot attempt by Wadle here onto the right leg. And we're going to stoppage potentially dangerous with 1:05 to go. I don't know if these guys all talk to each other again, but I think our first matchup, Seymour and Ziggler both went for the black and lime green shoe choice, and here both men were going with the gray shoes with the pink shoelaces.
Pink soles also.
Here Lopes trying to work off a front headlock. 45 to go in the third period. He's going to be able to scoot around behind, go up 19-5. Might have a cradle here as well. Just see if he can work Wadle over. Riding time point would give him a tech fall.
Oh, and actually the current North Hunterdon coach, apparently Rudy did wrestle for North Hunterdon. Current coach Dave Bell texted me. And Caden is now a sophomore. I mean, I remember he came up last year. And another wrestling connection in the family is that the mother, if you remember Ken Berger? Wrestled back in the day for Navy and does a lot of announcing now, and they're related.
Hold that thought.
I forgot about that.
20-6 is the final, a major decision for Matty Lopes. So, actually, I did know that only because
was he here one time?
Connor Mills is our fill-in PA announcer.
Oh, yeah, and he works with Kenny. Yeah.
Connor told me Connor's also close with the Wadle family.
Yes.
And was explaining that Kenny is actually an uncle.
That's right, I forgot. Yeah.
So it heard me right. If Kenny's watching, we might get Kenny to discount this year for EIWAs. Anyway, on to 141. In the brown, it's a true first-year Seamus Mack out of Landisville, PA, Hempfield area. And for the white team, it's Malik Hines, now a sixth-year senior out of Kissimmee, Florida, four-time NCAA qualifier, 2021 EIWA champ, and NCAA round of 12 2 years ago. Trying to cap Liz Lehigh career with a podium finish.
And Mack was 8-6-3 in PIAA. 84 pins. That's quite a few in Pennsylvania. Let's see.
Probably two of the taller guys you'll see here at this weight class. I was a little surprised.
Yeah, I realized that when they shook hands. I said, oh, geez, yeah, similar.
Going through all the reporting on the recruiting class, duck under attempt by Hines, trying to stay with it. Gets to the leg, and now Mack maybe going over the back, but I thought from the, what I had learned from the coaches and going through, writing up on the recruiting classes that Mack was going to be a 149-pounder. Then I saw a good scramble here as Mack trying to counter the Hines shot. No scoring awarded yet.
Was this the cross-weight matchup, though?
No. It was going. The next match was going to be the cross-weight.
Oh, the next one was going to be? I knew it was around here, yeah.
But I just assumed that Mack was going to be a 149-pounder. Then I saw the kind of team-by-team breakdown from the coaches, and there was Seamus Mack at 141.
And his father, same name. No, not quite. Shane, not Seamus. Wrestled at Maryland. His mother played ball and lacrosse at Connecticut College.
Wondering, did the father wrestle for Pat? Or was that right before Pat got there?
Probably.
Minute to go in the first period, no score.
Might have been for Carey.
Hines on a single leg now.
Oh, no, Carey was
after Pat.
After Pat, yeah. So,
and now
John, was it McHugh was immediate previous?
A little bit of scrambling here after the shot initiated by Hines. Trying to get his leg free and get control with 37 to go in the opening period. Hines finally gets the breakdown and able to pick up the three-point takedown. And with 28 seconds to go in the first, he leads.
Ken Berger just texted me.
His ears were burning?
Of course, he's got to remind me he never lost in Grace Hall.
Final 10 seconds here in the opening period. And it looks like Hines will take a 3-0 lead into the second. Mack's choice here in the second period is neutral.
Well, Mack actually also coached there, I think. Actually, I kind of remember that now. Okay, he wrestled 96 through 98.
Before Pat Santoro was at Maryland. Nice double leg attempt here from Hines, and he's going to pick up three more. Now a 6-0 lead for the senior. Again, we're not really keeping team score, but Hines trying to get the white team on the board after a decision by Sheldon Seymour and a major decision by Matty Lopes. Again, we skipped over 133, just not really an opponent for Ryan Crookham, the NCAA third place finisher, the IWA champ, preseason #1 ranked wrestler. Hines brings Mack out of bounds. 52 seconds to go in the second period. Hines leading 6-0. Mentioned Kenny, mentioned the IWA championships. They'll be at Stabler Arena this year. No airplane trips for Lehigh during the regular season, Gimp, according to the official schedule. I'm sure Lehigh will send a contingent of Midlands in late December, but Hines working a tilt here. And we'll get the full allotment of 4 near fall as he pulled back on that left arm. Hines extends his lead to 10-0. Riding time approaching 2 minutes as well, with 18 seconds to go in the second period. As Mack able to scoot away.
Oh, wait. Alex Clemson was head coach back then? I thought he was.
Alex Clemson's the coach right now.
That means he came back? He was coaching before? I mean, I'm seeing something that says 99. And
10-0 lead for Malik Hines after 2 periods.
It was John McHugh. I'm not sure what that other thing, what I'm reading there. It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, John McHugh, it says to 98, so that's when his father would have been there.
Switch off the whistle from Hines, and will switch himself right into a reversal. And a 12-0 lead. And now he will cut Mack loose. 12-1. In on the leg, and Mack going up over the back. Malik trying to double off. Mack has Hines' legs. And Hines able to pop his legs through, pick up 3 more. And now a 15-1 lead. With 1:20 to go in the third period. Hines now for the second time teasing, letting Mack go. He's going to get warned for stalling, or actually Mack's going to get warned for stalling. Hines never gave up control there, so still working in control here. Another situation where Rideout gets Hines a tech fall, but from a preparation standpoint, probably want to see Malik try to pick up another takedown. We'll get a fresh start from center with 32 seconds left.
And another friend, my old roommate, texted me that Seamus's sister was a District 3 champ.
Now Hines will cut Mack loose. 15-2. Mack in on a shot. And Hines trying to see if he can counter and get behind. He's around the one leg. Had the leg for a half second. They don't award it. And we're still scrambling now with 14 to go. Hines stepping over, pulling back. They're going to award it in the final seconds. So a 19-2 technical fall.
Yeah, I'm watching some of this in the World Championships. Right now the U23s are going on, and I'm doing some help with flow and cap. So I'm thinking, oh, that's a tilt. No, wait a minute. Wrong style.
I think 18-2 in 6:57. So we'll go to 157 for the Brown team. Griffin Gonzalez, deferred first year out of Lebanon, Pennsylvania. They got to switch their ankle bands. Gonzalez attended Lebanon High School. And in the white, it's Jaden Skellinger from Meridian, Idaho. True first year. Bishop Kelly High School. Gimp, you call him a three-styler, but I feel like his best style is probably Greco.
That's certainly what he's most known for, yeah.
So right now, Gonzalez, Skellinger, and Logan Rosinski, another true first year. The three at 157. Max Brignola, likely a little arm spin attempt here from Skellinger. And scrambling around, but no scoring. And again, there we see some of the upper body work.
Yeah, he's been on Pan Am teams.
Getting behind and lifting and dropping, and now given 3. And a 3-0 lead for Jaden Skellinger.
And right there you can see he likes to lift, so which is he was a 2-time Fargo finalist, an Open champion, and OW, I assume probably at U17. I'm just guessing. I don't know what. Maybe U20.
Gonzalez up and out. Really quick on this weight class, though. Max Brignola, NCAA qualifier last year. However, so we'll see him at 165 tonight, and Max still has a deferred year at his disposal should he choose to use it. So something to keep an eye on this year. We have 3 bouts at 165 on the horizon. Reach from Gonzalez to the left leg, but couldn't quite get there. Gonzalez last year, 3-4 in his deferred first year. Stops, looks like some inadvertent hands to the face, maybe both ways there. Minute to go in the first period, a 3-1 lead for Skellinger, who is wearing the white. Gonzalez a little bit of a later fill-in. Again, supposed to be the 2 true first years. And when Rosinski could not go, they inserted Gonzalez. Not sure if that was last night or this morning. Final 10 seconds here, first period. And we'll get a stoppage with Gonzalez being warned for the interlocking of fingers.
Although it takes 2 to tangle with that.
So 3-1 for Skellinger after 1 period, and Gonzalez takes the down position. That return attempt from Skellinger. Gonzalez hopping back up. Able to get the hand separated, and he's out for the escape. So 3-2. Single leg shot here from Gonzalez, trying to double off. Skellinger trying to create a bit of a scramble here as he hooks Gonzalez's leg and trying to step over. Skellinger and Gonzalez kind of both pulling on each other's legs. Skellinger trying to wrap around the head, maybe create a cradle here. And he nearly had it as he tried to bring Gonzalez over. He does have the lock underneath, but not in really position to work him over. And actually Gonzalez might come back, and Skellinger has to bail out with his right leg to avoid getting taken down. We'll get a stalemate with 39 seconds remaining. 3-2 lead for Skellinger, 20 seconds to go, second period. Riding time not yet a factor. Skellinger got his takedown in the first period, and Gonzalez had the best shot here in the second that it resulted in a lengthy scramble. 3-2 after 2. And Skellinger will take the down position. Skellinger popping up, trying to headhunt. And he works his way out for the escape. And in on the left leg right away. Gonzalez trying to come across. Another scramble situation potentially here. Skellinger trying to keep the right foot in. No control, and Gonzalez grabbing back on the left leg as they roll out of bounds off to the left with 1:21 to go. So a 4-2 lead. And Gimp, you alluded to at the top, year 2 of all the rule changes, so year 2 of the 3-point takedown, and then they'll reevaluate after the season. But most of the returns from last year seemed positive.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it was very clear that there were more techs and majors than before, which, would make, watch.
Shot there
James
from
in on a shot there.
Skellinger, and
now it's going to do a scramble. A funk scramble, basically. Which was pretty clear, but there was some stats showing that if you just looked at the number of scores, it didn't change very much at all. I can't verify that myself, but I remember seeing it a couple times.
Back on their feet with 30 seconds to go. 4-2 lead for Skellinger. Again, with the 3-point takedown. Gonzalez just a takedown away right now. See if he goes to get it. And he tried there. Skellinger able to successfully back away. Down to 10 seconds. And a stalemate with 9. Final seconds here, and we have 4-2 decision for Jaden Skellinger. And now the first of 3 at 165 pounds. For the white team, it's Owen Quinn, third-year sophomore out of Bluebell, Pennsylvania, Malvern Prep. One of 3 Malvern wrestlers on the roster. And for the Brown squad, down at 165 for the first time, it is fifth-year wrestler, junior eligibility, Thane Lawrence, out of Perryopolis, PA. Lawrence has seen time at 174 in the past. So Lawrence and Quinn in the first of 3 at 165.
And with Quinn, usually talk about the fathers or brothers being involved. I think his mother has something to do around here. Like a little bit of everything.
Owen's mother, Gina, the director of operations, or sometimes the CEO, if you prefer.
Of getting something done.
Yeah.
I won't repeat the. But and she actually has a history, and I guess I probably met her.
She was a made manager at Oklahoma State back in the 80s with John Smith, Kenny Monday, those teams.
And I'm trying to think of what years they had nationals that she would have been there. I mean, and I would have been probably running it, or I'm not running it, but doing the computer stuff back then.
Quinn was 2-4 a year ago. Lawrence 5-8 overall last year, 0-4 in duels. He was injured, I think, mid-year, and missed the tail end of the season. When he got hurt, when I think it was against Binghamton, and then the next day Connor Hersig came in against Cornell, had that upset victory, and the Lehigh's victory over the Big Red. But again, now dropping down to 165. Of good news for Lawrence is he has shed the shoulder harness he wrestled with for a good chunk of last year, and maybe even a bit of the year before.
I think it. Yeah, I was going to say. I think I've seen it for a couple of years.
No score, 105 to go in the first. Lawrence for his career, 12-16. Single leg shot here though, and Quinn going over the back, Thane trying to double off. And good work from Lawrence to pick up the takedown and take a 3-0 lead. .35 seconds to go in the opening period. Lawrence trying to throw legs in here. Down to 10 seconds. And a 3-0 lead for Lawrence after one period. Lift and a mat return from Lawrence. There's a loud clapping off to our right's about as into it as you'll get here at this intra-squad. Lawrence up over a minute of advantage time.
Kind of hard to build up much of a hate thing going in this thing.
Pat Santoro says it every year. It's obviously hard to wrestle against your teammates in this public setting, but it's important for the guys to get used to wrestling in this facility and get used to wrestling with actual officials and things like that.
Yep.
And a warning on Quinn on the bottom, his first.
By the way, you mentioned next week is Princeton on Saturday.
Sunday the 3rd.
Oh, okay. All right. Then that means I can. It's also East Stroudsburg Open. There will be a couple of Lehigh wrestlers there, Trey Cornish and John Bullock, ex-wrestlers obviously. But the girls' team's going to be up there. And I was just talking with
the Lehigh women's
that. The Lehigh women's club team. I mean, so far, and they're up there on mass is what it looks like. Although I don't think Audrey Jimenez is going to be able to wrestle yet. Who's our, kind of the top name really from the girls, from the women. I get it.
Yeah, the top women's recruit in the country decided to come to a program that is not yet varsity.
Yeah.
Which is news in of itself, as Lawrence rides out the second period and leads 3-0 after 2.
I mean, she won the Arizona State boys tournament last year at, I guess 106 is, I guess that's their weight, but.
And then she was the runner-up at the Olympic.
To Sarah Hildebrand.
Who went on to win the gold medal.
Yeah.
We have a stoppage here. Looks like Quinn has some blood that needs to be dealt with. So. Phil Littlejohn, wrestling trainer, ping pong player extraordinaire, takes care of that.
Now, in '96 at the Olympics, we shared an office with table tennis, and they were making sure to correct us if we ever said ping pong.
My mistake. I'm still reeling that I referred at.
I say ping pong.
I was on the call for the doing color for the Lehigh football game at Yale on Saturday on the radio, and I referred to it as the 2-minute warning, but that's only in the NFL. In college, it's 2-minute timeout. So I took my slap on the wrist like a champ, and we moved on. Lawrence is up and out. He leads 4-0. And now Lawrence in on another shot here. And Lawrence gets his legs free. He's able to spin around and pick up 3 more for a 7-0 lead. Lawrence at this point also has the riding time point locked in. And there'll be a couple other potential options here at 165 for Lehigh. Last year, Jake Logan manned the spot. Also previously dropping down from 174 and was an NCAA qualifier in his final season. Quinn trying to scoot away. Lawrence on the leg, then works his way back up. And a little visit
almost
to the VIP section across the way. 26 seconds to go.
It's a good thing he had an angle. If they did it right at John Harmon's seat, he would have whacked his head on the. Oh, you mentioned Becruz. Sadradinov down here talking to Doc Terpstra. Who did my knee, among many others. Did a great job. I'm actually out running around again. Some. My age, I'm not very fast, but that's.
Switch attempt from Quinn there off the whistle. Technically here, Lawrence still in control, although this time Quinn gets himself free. 7-1 with 12 seconds to go. And with the riding time over 3 minutes, it'll be an 8-1 decision for Thane Lawrence. And we'll go on to bout number 2 at 165. For the white team, 4th year true senior Max Brignola out of Fairhaven, New Jersey. Brignola NCAA qualifier twice, including last year at 157. Also 149 as a true first year in 2022. And for the Brown team, it is deferred first year Zeke Dubler out of Urvona, Pennsylvania. Dubler attended Glendale area high school. One thing I've noticed with Dubler, Gimp, I think every time I see him in the room, I'm like, who is that? He just looks different every time I see him. Sometimes long hair, now he's got short hair and a mustache.
I had that trouble with Jake Logan. One day he's dark hair, one day he's blonde.
So when I go into the room and I can't recognize somebody, chances are it's usually Dubler.
And I have a little bit of trouble unless they're next to each other with he and Repos. Now he has a mustache, but I think Repos did at one point.
Scrambling here in a little limp leg attempt by Dubler, but Brignola back on top and able to bring Dubler down for 3. And a release for Brignola. So 1 point for Dubler. And Brignola has a red shirt available if he wants to use it. Looks like some blood perhaps on Dubler needs to be taken care of. Brignola 51-27 for his career. 18-9 last year. Dubler 7-7 last year. 4-4 in attached competition. Again, the new rules from a couple years ago now, Gimp, that, again, first years cannot compete unattached first semester. So.
And a total, and they.
6 dates or 5 dates? 5 dates. The sixth date burns the year of eligibility.
Right.
So, again, Princeton Open, maybe even Sheridan, maybe even a duel here and there. You might see some of the Lehigh first years competing attached, but still able to maintain their eligibility.
And that's kind of not the only reason they did it with Luke, but just so he didn't have to make 125 every week. But, and they.
But then for a Max Brignola potentially or a Luke Stanich this year, once you're not a first year, that's back to the old rules. You can't compete attached or you lose the year of eligibility.
Right.
And Brignola back in on a shot here, although a good split from Dubler.
At least after the first 30% of the. I mean, if you get legitimately hurt after 30% of the dates.
Yeah, there have to be a medical reason at that point.
Yes.
As Brignola picks up his second takedown of the period to go in front 6-1. 1:39 to go in the first. Again, he'll push Dubler away. Right back in on the left leg, or excuse me, the right leg. Dragging him back in towards center.
He must have waxed his knee pad there. It just slid the whole way in.
And another takedown for Brignola, who, again, Max's claim to fame has been the ultimate team player. Every year it's like, all right, this is the year Max is going to defer. And every year he ends up in the lineup at the end of the season.
Well, he defers to his coach's desires here, I guess.
9-3 with a minute to go in the first period.
No, I see one of our esteemed, I see Bill Steckline across the way there. I'm trying to think, not sure who's next to him. One of the great former officials, especially in the international styles, did maybe 3 Olympics. And 1 year got the, whatever, I forget what the term is, essentially a gold medal of officiating. Yeah, I forget the term, but.
Fresh start with 31 to go in the period, 9-3 for Brignola. Dubler, his deferred season highlighted by a runner-up finish at Matttown 2 in late January. Pennsylvania 4th and 8th place finishes, 83 pins in high school, wrestling at a District 6. And I don't know if it's short for anything, but as Brignola leads 9-3 after 1. Dubler's father, Billy, wrestled at Penn State. He has a brother named Suds who wrestles at Clarion.
I do remember saying something about.
Escape for Dubler to open the second, but Brignola is going to pick up another takedown here. Dubler back to his feet.
It's actually Zeke, apparently. Or no, that's no. This is Zeke. It came up under his, and yeah, I don't see why it doesn't give me any info on Suds here.
12-4. We got a caution on Brignola here. I think it's just procedural.
There's an article on the Clarion website asking if Suds is a real person.
Dubler to his feet. Brignola approaching the 1 minute mark in terms of advantage time, looking to return, but can't quite keep him down, and Dubler gets his escape. 12-5. Brignola right back in on a single and looking to maybe pancake here. Dubler bellies out. Max has 3 more. 15-5 with under a minute to go in the second period.
In fact, then somebody's saying they challenge anybody to find Irvona on the map.
Another escape for Dubler. Well, Connor was asking me pre-match about the roster, and I was like, I've never been there. I'd go with Irvona, but.
No, I mean, it is, but it's just.
Brignola able to spin in and turn in for another takedown. 3 in each period so far for Brignola. He leads 18-6 with 14 seconds remaining in the second period.
Probably about as big of a town as Transfer.
I was Mason Beckman?
Yeah.
You transfer from one real town to another.
Yeah.
18-6, Brignola leads after 2, and he'll take the down position. This is our bout number 6 out of 11, so right at the midway point. And now a caution on Dubler. Brignola ducked out of there into a reversal, and then one escape. And now Brignola taking Dubler down to his back and looking for the fall. And he gets the fall at 5 minutes and 19 seconds. So a pin for Max Brignola. And we'll have one more match coming at 165. Third and final matchup at 165. For the white squad, Richie Grungo out of Chemung, New Jersey, deferred first year. And for the brown team, it's a true first year, Dom Federici out of Sawyersville and Wyoming Seminary. So true first year against deferred first year here at 165. Grungo 6-8 a season ago, 2-4 while competing attached. And quickly in on a single leg is Grungo, around the waist and drags Federici down for 3. So the early lead for Richie Grungo. Lift and a mat return attempt, keeping the toes in. And now they're out of bounds 21 seconds into the opening period. Federici, two-time prep place winner, or excuse me, four-time place winner, two-time finalist. Two-time place winner at the Super 32 as well. As Federici up and out for his escape. 3-1. Grungo, along with Wadle and Stanich, part of that trio of 2023 Lehigh, New Jersey State champions.
Of which we sort of had a fourth, although he transferred in and then, Mays. Who transferred in from Ryder last year and transferred out, I forget where to. Do you know where he went?
TCNJ, maybe?
It would make sense given that's about halfway in between both houses.
But Grungo, Stanich, and Wadle all in the same year. Graduating class, yeah.
Right. Hunter would have been a year earlier.
Yep. Grungo, three-time place winner, also 5th and 4th at the Jersey State Tournament. 2023 South Jersey Wrestler of the Year as he picks up another takedown here to go in front 6-1.
And Shappy being third that same year, I think he was wrestling with a broken hand or something like that. I forget what the injury was, but
we'll see Shappy in our next bout at 174. And Shappy had a decent start to his first year last year, and then he got hurt at the Princeton Open, and that immediately put the clamps on, and he had his deferred year right there. One escape for Federici, 6-2. 48 seconds to go in the first period here at 165 pounds, part 3. Again, would expect a sizable Lehigh contingent on the men's side at the Princeton Open on November 3rd. Last year, Lehigh had something like 35 guys competing. Probably won't be that many because I think the roster's slightly smaller this year as another double results in a takedown for Grungo. Last year, Lehigh had 7 champs of that Princeton Open. And a 9-2 lead for Richie Grungo after one period.
Got to wonder whether Grungo might have a growth spurt in him if you ever seen his father. He's quite tall. 6'3" or so, I'd say.
Again, Richie was a guy who, at least last year, was kind of a tweener for 49, 57, and now this year he's up at 65. So.
Yeah.
Grungo on bottom, gets himself unhooked. Out for one escape. And he leads 10-2 with 1:45 to go in the second period. Exactly 1 minute of advantage time in Grungo's favor as well.
Few of our former wrestlers coming over here to eat. Tochi and Charlie.
Yeah, good amount of younger alumni around.
Yep. Yeah, the Lanes.
The Lanes are here. You mentioned Bolick.
Yep. Well, I don't know if he's here.
No, I see him. He's
Did you see him? Yeah, okay.
Next to Nick Farrow.
Okay. And I don't know if it's in the same category, but Mike Lieberman's over there. Mike Newburn was here. I don't know whether.
Maybe not.
Oh, the Turner might.
More,
is that Turner up there? I can't. That's about where they would sit. I know.
I know I'm not as old as you, Gim.
No, over here, here. I'd see Mike over there.
I'm reaching that point in my life where anything dark, I have no clue. So, Yeah, I guess we go from the younger alumni to the, I don't want to call them older, we'll call them more distinguished alumni.
Oh, and there's Turner behind Mike, I think, there, with resting his hand on it.
There you go. Scrambling here after the shot initiated by Federici, and Federici nearly had a takedown there. But Grungo up, hopping into a standing single execution on the left side. They roll through, and Grungo somehow rolls out of that as the second period comes to an end. Some pretty good defensive work there from Richie Grungo. So 10-2 for Grungo. The only points in that period, the Grungo escape. And now Federici takes the down position. Next two bouts after this one will be at 174 pounds. As Federici has his escape. 10-3.
Saw Newbern coming in to buy his ticket, so I went and talked to him, and I said something about that he wrestled, and the people taking the tickets said, "Oh, what weight class?" I said, "Well, you might want to ask him what he didn't wrestle."
We got a potentially dangerous call here with 1:13 to go. 10-3 for Grungo. He has 1:07 riding time advantage as well. Grungo back in on the legs again, and Federici trying to dive for the far ankle as well. Grungo last year wrestled 149 here at the Brown and White and lost 4-1 to Drew Munch. Now Federici might be able to come work his way through for the takedown, and does. So Federici within 4, 10-6 with 20 seconds to go. He'll also be able to erase the riding time advantage. (11-6) on the escape. And looks like that's how this will end. Fast start for Richie Grungo. 3 first period takedowns and an 11-6 decision over Dom Federici. So we move on to the first of two at 174. In the white, it is true sophomore Liam Gilswager out of Arlington, Virginia. And in the brown, it'll be deferred first year Jared Shappy out of Bridgeton, New Jersey, Del C High School. Shappy officially 1-1 last year. Again, was injured at the Princeton Open and did not compete after that. Gilswager 2-6 last year at 165.
And I didn't realize this, but Shappy was also all-state in football.
Shappy, newly trimmed, new haircut for him. He was walking around confusing people with his blonde locks instead of just a dark and high and tight cut. Single leg shot here from Shappy. As Gim said, probably really close to being a 4th state champ for Lehigh out of that 2023 high school graduating class, if not for an injury. Trying to finish here. And will work his way through 4-3, take a 3-0 lead. Approaching the midway point of the opening period. Gilswager turns in, gets his 1 escape. Wrestling across the way and out of bounds. Shappy almost ended off 1 seat to the right of the John Harmon Memorial seat. A 3-1 lead for Shappy here in the first period. .20 seconds to go in the opening period. Here at 174 pounds. Shappy spinning around behind. Needs to bring Gilswager down and does. And it'll be a second takedown in the final 10 seconds for Jared Shappy. And a 6-1 lead after 1 period. Choice to Gilswager is the down position. Shappy with 24 seconds of advantage time. Gilswager, a mechanical engineering major, and I believe in his non-wrestling time, a member of Lehigh's ROTC as well, as he picks up 1 escape here. 6-2. Under a minute to go, second period. 6-2 lead for Jared Shappy. And looking for more here as he looking to lock up a cradle. Instead, we'll just extend the right arm across the waist, pick up 3 more. 9-2 with 38 seconds to go in the second period. Gilswager dove in at a half shot. Back on their feet, 15 to go. A 9-3 lead for Shappy as we go to the third period. Shappy spins to his feet and works his way out. 10-3. Riding time at 1:11 in Shappy's favor. Just 3 dual meets for Lehigh first semester. The dual opener against Morgan State here on November 15th, at Pitt on November 24th, and then the Penn State match at PPL is we're scrambling here, but Shappy's going to bring down Gilswager for another takedown, his 4th, and a 13-3 lead. January begins with a road trip to Binghamton, Cornell, then Navy, and then end of January, beginning of February, American and Army here. Road duels at Bucknell and Penn for the season. Regular season finishes up at home against Arizona State. Shappy on another double attempt. Now has just the right leg. It's 13-4 with 30 seconds remaining. Final 15 here. And with 1:31 riding time, it's a 14-4 major for Jared Shappy. And now the Grace Hall debut, or at least the Lehigh debut, for Rylan Rogers out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. He's a 3rd year in college wrestler. Wrestled at the University of Michigan his first 2 years.
Have to look back. He might have wrestled at Stabler.
The National Prep Tournament, yeah.
Oh, well, that's why you said, okay, yeah. I thought you said it the other way around.
And his opponent will be Keegan Gagnon out of Cold Spring Harbor, New York, a 3rd-year wrestler. But Rogers, when he went to Michigan, one of the nation's top recruits. You thrown off by the song choice there, Gimp.
I just wondered what the reference was. I mean, these two together aren't old enough to have.
Rogers in on a single leg here. And Gagnon, probably the tallest wrestler on the team, no matter what the weight. But Rogers works his way through and picks up 3. So 3-1, and Rogers backing on a shot again now, 6-1. Again, Rogers wrestling here at 174. When he was at Michigan, Gippy filled in a couple times in duels for the Wolverines. At 197, I just don't see it. He's not that big.
I know, yeah.
And already 3 takedowns for Rogers and a 9-2 lead, and perhaps some early catch and release here.
I was looking at the family thing with Keegan. They went with the K thing. The father is Keelan, and brothers Colton, Kiri, and Kiara. All Ks.
Another takedown for Rogers. 15-4 lead, and getting count for the first, the side headlock. Now looking to get backs, and he is going to get near fall here. Off that hold around the head for near fall. Well, no Michael Beard tonight, Gimp, at 197, so. Yeah, it's over already. How about that? 19-4 in A minute and 40 seconds.
In fact, Ryland won the preps in 20.
So a quick tech fall for Rogers, 5 takedowns and a 4-point near fall. And we're down to 2 bouts remaining here on this Thursday night in Bethlehem. This will be a kind of meet me in the middle hybrid type match. 197 pounder for Lehigh in the white, Dante Hues, third-year sophomore out of Lakewood, New York. And for the brown, it is third-year sophomore Remy Brancato Road out of Pompton Lakes, New Jersey, 184 pounder.
Wrestled at Bergen Catholic up in Remy Brancato.
And then Dante has a brother, Giuseppe, who started at Buffalo and I believe ended up at Oklahoma.
He's on his third school.
Remy was 4-8 last year. Who's 1-6 last year, 4-10 for his career.
Also wrestled at Buffalo, the brother. 7 siblings.
So no score here. Double attempt from Brancato, and nicely done. He picks up the 3. So the early lead for Brancato Road, and now Hues up and out. Hues picks up his 1 escape. 1:50 to go in the opening period. We've seen some wrestlers put some points on the board tonight, which, you know, I think will make the coaching staff happy. Just go out there, look to score, and guys have certainly done that.
And just Dante's brother started at Hofstra. Oh wait, now he's at Drexel, actually. I knew there was a more local one that he was at now. So it's 4th school. Wow. I don't see that tall. I'm assuming he's a grad student by now, but.
Under a minute to go in the first here as Brancato Road drove in on a shot. He still has the right leg. Trying to double off here and still working at it. Picks up 3 more. Second takedown for Remy Brancato Road. Hues up and out. So 6-2 with 25 seconds to go. Final seconds of the opening period here. 6-2 win or lead rather after 1 for Remy Brancato Road. And Hues will start down to begin the second period. Hues to his feet, he's up and out. Now a 6-3 lead. Next to last match of the evening here. We'll bring things home with a matchup at 285 with Nathan Taylor and true first-year heavyweight Calvin Lochman. Brancato, another double leg shot, trying to lift here and drive through. Stays with it and picks up 3. 9-3 lead for Remy. So 9-4 with the escape by Hues. 28 seconds to go, second period. Hues now trying to get in on the right leg, and a bit of a scramble here. Brancato underneath trying to defend. And we'll go to the third with a 9-4 lead for Remy Brancato Road. Brancato Road will take the down position. Hues cuts the riding time to about 48 seconds and then cuts Brancato Road loose. 10-4 for Remy Brancato Road. Brancato behind again and trying to drag Hues down, and not quite, as Hues on his knees on the edge. Brancato trying to keep the toes in, and they took themselves out of the cylinder for a moment. So we'll get a restart at center with 1:14 to go. 184, Lehigh has Caden Rogers, who missed the tail end of last year due to injury. Jack Wilt, who filled in and represented Lehigh at the EIWA Championships, among others. Michael Beard, of course, returning EIWA champion and All-American at 197. Looking to improve on his 8th place finish in his final season.
I guess I figured he's the oldest kid on the team. I mean,
Beard,
Malik is maybe a year younger, and there's somebody else that's
Beard is 25.
Malik either is or will,
I think Malik's about to
become
be
24. I don't know when his birthday is.
I think he's a November birthday, because
and then there's a third one in that vicinity between the two, I think. Gino, because it started to occur to me, more in thinking with the Frisbee team.
Beard's older than 2 of my 3 assistants, and he's only like a month younger than one of my other one. As Brancato Road will pick up one more takedown here in the final seconds.
I was thinking how few college kids were born before 9/11 is what kind of clicked with me at one point. But with COVID in D1 sports, there'll be a few. But
Brancato Road with a 13-4 major. And it'll take us to our final bout of the evening. It'll be 285 pounds, and we started with a Quakertown wrestler. We're going to end with a Quakertown wrestler with Calvin Lochman. What are they, the Panthers down there? Well, Lochman will wrestle EIWA champion Nathan Taylor.
Yeah, Panthers. Yep.
Taylor, a terrific year last year, 25-5. Heartbreak in the NCAA tournament when he fell just short of a spot on the podium. Won the Sheridan Trophy at EIWAs with pins in the semis and finals, and I believe in the first round as well. And quickly in on a single leg here against Lochman.
Dave Bell, who is, as I said, is now coaching at North Hunterdon, texted me again about Remy, because he coached Remy in at Bergen Catholic. Proud coach.
Lochman has his one escape. Lehigh's really done a nice job of developing heavyweights the last, decade plus now. And but just right now, there's the only two on the roster. As Lochman takes a shot and Taylor counters onto the right leg.
I want to say, was it last year or 2 years ago? There was like 6 or something.
And 3 more for Taylor.
And then with the coaches, you got, of course, you got Zach and you got Wood and you got Carey. I mean, not coach technically, but I mean with the RTC.
Around, yep.
Yeah.
There's a who's who of heavyweights in the Lehigh room, and Taylor's got 2 more years to try to, join that upper echelon, get on the podium. One thing about Nathan Taylor, though, he keeps getting better, and he's really done a nice job of learning from mistakes and improving himself, flipping results around results that didn't go his way.
And I know going into last year in particular, we saw a big increase in strength. He had been
also a decent increase in either size or our brown singlets are shrinking, because on our first photo day, Nathan only took photos in white, and I said, Nate, we need you in brown. And he said, we don't have a brown singlet that fits me right now. And I said, I don't believe you, but fine. So we eventually got Nate in brown. 44 seconds to go in the first period. 6-2 lead now for Taylor. And Lehigh back to work this weekend. Middle of next week, we should have a better idea. We got a stall warning here on Lochman. Better idea of who will be making the trek to Princeton.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a public. I should yell at Peanut for that, but that they, the registration, like East Stroudsburg, you can just go on Flow and find it, but I'm not sure that he has it public with the down there, Princeton.
9-2, 14 seconds to go, first period. Lochman again up and out. And we'll go to the second period with a 9-3 lead for Nathan Taylor.
Taking the bottom.
Lochman finished 8th in PIAA AAA last year, 3-time state qualifier. 2-time place winner at the Super 32 as well. Taylor has his one escape, 10-3. Right back in on a shot. Lochman goes to the flip, the roll. Maybe caught Taylor off guard a little bit. Lochman gets in on the leg. Taylor trying to use his muscle here to counter, and continues the work here, and again, just Taylor, now a fourth-year junior, just too big and too strong. Takedown and then into a tilt. Referee holding 4. So 17-5 with 56 seconds to go. Why did they end it?
17-2.
Yeah, but he had 3. I guess they were ready to go home, Gimp. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Well,
it was 9-3 after 1 period. Well, I guess when you're doing inter-squad things, you can do that. Those things will happen. So you're not going to be able to read my chicken scratch, Gimp. I'm sorry.
Oh, and you have that reversed.
So, it happens. So a quick rundown of the proceedings then. Sheldon Seymour 7-3 over Mason Ziegler. Matty Lopes 20-6 major over Logan Wadle. Malik Hines an 18-2 technical fall over Seamus Mack. Jaden Skellinger 4-2 over Griffin Gonzalez. Thane Lawrence 8-1 over Owen Quinn at 165. Max Brignola pinned Zeke Dubler at 5:19. Richie Grungo 11-6 over Dom Federici. Jared Shappy 14-4 over Liam Gilswager. A 19-4 technical fall in 140 for Rylan Rogers over Keegan Ganon. 184. Remy Brancato Road 13-4 over Dante Hues, and then Nathan Taylor. They're going to call it 17-2 in 404 over Calvin Lochman. Gimp, any final thoughts?
Oh, I mean, a few of the scores do tell me something. I mean, in some it's hard to, they know each other so well. But, I mean, and they don't even enjoy wrestling each other, really. Some good stuff there. And, we'll learn a lot more from Princeton and whatnot. So, I don't know what we'll actually see at Morgan State because,
second year program,
right.
Or program second year back. So that'll be the dual opener back on November 5th, coming up on November 15th. Before that, Princeton Open November 3rd, the Journeyman Collegiate Classic, the round robin event at Freedom High School on November 10th, and then the dual season commences after that with Morgan State. But that'll do it for us. For Gary Brownell, I'm Steve Lomangino. Thanks for watching coverage of the 2024 Brown and White Inter-Squad here for Lehigh Wrestling. Have a great night, everyone.